walking in the door from being on campus, teaching a little bit of Afrofuturism, but I wanted to get to this particular video because this topic has been swirling in my head and it needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. When I am creating videos, when I am conceiving of topics, when I am thinking about things that I'm going to post, that I'm going to speak about, I have young Black women in mind. There are so many lessons that I wish I had been privy to as a young Black girl. There are so many statements that I wish someone had made to me and had made on my behalf. So many instances in which I wish that I had been the focus of someone's thoughts as opposed to an afterthought. And that is no slight to my parents or my older siblings or my upbringing. I am fully aware that those people did the best that they could and that they did have my best interest at heart. However, with the changing of the times, with the changing of attitudes, with the introduction of new and glorious information, I feel blessed to be able to say more to young Black girls and to Black women in particular, and to fully center us in my thought process, in my research, in my work, in my life's purpose. I feel blessed to be able to do that. So everything that I say, everything that I do is with us at the center. And that is all Black people who journey under the sign of woman. I'm not excluding anyone, but if you journey under the sign of woman, then this is for you. And most things that I say are for you. I am an advocate for you. I am a protectress of you and a creatrix of you, proudly. But I wanted to talk about a statement that I heard frequently over and over again. I posted some commentary from Twitter on my Instagram page. And in that commentary, the person, I can't remember their name, was saying that, marriage is being sold as something that Black women should seek out and something that Black women should be trying to get. However, when you look at the examples of it around you, far too often it seems to be an institution in which a powerful woman is drained by a less powerful man. And in this particular statement, we're talking about heterosexual marriage. Although, because misogyny and misogynoir and patriarchy permeate every aspect of society, I dare say that this happens within any kind of marriage, regardless of the gender of the participants. But this particular post, I think, was focusing mostly on heterosexual pairings. And I posted this and I was saying that there is a way of training Black men that I became aware of in my early 20s, in which Black men are trained to break Black women. Specifically Black women that they see as higher than them. So they may see you as higher because you are considered physically attractive. They may see you as higher because you are more intelligent or more educated. They may see you as higher because you're in a higher income bracket. But there's a particular training that takes place in which they see it as their duty to break Black women. And that is why so many times when you see a powerful Black woman enter into marriage, the end result of that marriage is her having been drained and broken. And I want to speak about it because I think first and foremost it's important for young Black girls and young Black women and Black women all, of all ages to know that this is done on purpose. This is done consciously. This is done with malice aforethought, right? Bad intentions. That's what malice aforethought means. Right? It is not by happenstance. It is not just that you came across a narcissist. It is not just that the one person that you married happens to be like this. This is an entire school of thought. This is an entire method of training Black men. This is a thing that happens. And so I mentioned this. I quoted the tweet on marriage. I reposted that, and then I added my own caption to it explaining this training, because I think this is information that needs to be public. People need to know this. Black women need to know this so that we can be aware, right? And many women, of course, many people agreed. Of course, many people had their own stories to share. Some people had overheard uncles and people teaching their brothers and their cousins to do this, right? So people had things to share. But many women were also in the comments saying very vehemently, but I'm not angry. I'm not angry at Black men. I'm not angry. Yes, something like that happened to me, but I'm not angry. And I was trying to understand the reason for saying that, and I asked a couple of questions. And why is that important to say? Why is that something to say as a comment to this post? Like, exactly what is it that you're trying to say? Can you be more clear? Can you articulate more clearly what you're saying here? And when I asked for a clearer articulation, then they would become angry with me, right? Which is a common trajectory. We see this all the time, right? Even in the case of your man cheating, right? If you have a man, y'all supposed to be in a monogamous relationship, and he goes off and sleeps with somebody else, you're not angry. I'm not angry at the Black man. I'm not angry at him. I'm angry at her. But she ain't the one you were in a relationship with, right? So they're not angry at the people who abused them, or the people who misused them, the people who tried to break them, or may have possibly at some point broken a part of their spirit. But they're angry with me for talking about it. Yeah, I think we need to dissect that. I think we need to unpack that. I think that's something that needs to be spoken about. So that's what this particular video is about. So my first question is, you ain't angry? Why ain't you angry? That's my first question. It is bizarre not to be angry. If someone has beaten you up, if someone has stolen from you, if someone has abused you, abused your children, tortured you, made your life hell, why ain't you angry at them? It's not a natural human response is to be angry with someone who has done that to you. And so I'm not trying to be facetious right now. I'm not trying to be humorous. I know that the reason that they are yelling out that they're not angry is because they feel that to be angry makes them wrong, makes them bad, puts them in the light of not being kind and nice. And so to that, I have to say, is that how we were raised? Is that how we were raised? If you were outside playing and somebody hit you and you came back inside and you told your mother that somebody hit you, what did your Black mama say? Well, I know what my Black mama said, and I know what I said to my children, and I know what my grandmama said to my mama, and I know what my older sister said to their children, and I know what my sister friends said to their children. What your Black mama say when you came inside crying after somebody had hit you? Did she say, don't be angry? Don't go back out there and be angry? Or did she say, go back there and hit them back? And don't you ever come in this house again and tell me that somebody hit you and you didn't hit them back? That's how I was raised. I was raised to go out there and hit them back, right? And if one of my siblings hit me and I told my mother, then that's what it was in our house. Hit them back. Get your lick back. I was allowed to get my lick back. That's what we called it in the South. I don't know what, you might have called it something else where you were from, but lick meant hit. Same in the Caribbean, lick. That means hit. So you could get your lick back, right? And hit them as hard as they hit you. It wasn't no little soft tap. That's how I was raised. And that's how everybody I know was raised. So someone has mistreated you and you are publicly decrying that you're not angry about it, first of all, that's you purposely working against your own natural inclination, your own human nature, your own desire to preserve self, which is what is foremost in your body, in your personality, in your mind. You're purposely working against that. Second of all, you're working against your upbringing. Because I know your mama used to tell you to go hit them motherfuckers back. I know she did. That's how black mamas raise kids. Right? And third of all, you are angry. Third of all, you just lying. You are angry. Right? But you are afraid of showing your anger. So when you decide not to show your anger, and when you decide that it is more important to appear good, it is more important to appear kind, it is more important to appear nice than to have my actual natural reaction of anger, what you're doing is denying your own humanity. You're saying, I am less than the person who did this to me. That's what that mindset says. And nobody is expected to swallow their anger except groups of people who are considered less than human. Women are expected to swallow their anger. Black people are expected to swallow their anger. Children are expected to swallow their anger. These are groups of people who in this society are considered less than human. So when you go out and say, but I'm not angry, what you're saying is, I'm less than you. You're right. I deserve proper treatment less than you do. You're right. I'm not worthy of this type of treatment. I'm not angry. I'm staying in my place. I'm not stepping into the actual human position of anger. I'm going to stay here in my place. Let me tell you what anger does for you. Anger reminds you. Anger appears when you have been wronged. That's when anger shows up. So anger is saying to you, we are being mistreated. That's what the emotion of anger is telling you. We are being mistreated. That's when anger shows up. Right? Anger gives you the opportunity to decide what you're going to do about being mistreated. That's the second thing anger says to you. The first thing is, we're being mistreated. Hold up. I know you didn't just say that to me. That's anger. Hold up. Who the hell is you talking to? That's anger. We're being mistreated. Second thing, what are we going to do about it? What action are we going to take to make sure that we do not continue to be treated like this? That's the second question. That's the question that anger asks you. The first statement anger makes is, we're being mistreated. We should not be treated this way. The question anger asks you is, what are we going to do so that we can stop being treated this way? So when you step out of that, and when your fixation is to not focus on that, is to not be aware of that, is to pretend that you are not having that feeling, then you put yourself in a position of powerlessness. From a position of powerlessness, you do nothing. From a position of powerlessness, you do not move. From a position of powerlessness, you do not make a change. Furthermore, if you are so connected to saying, I'm not angry, I'm happy, I'm good, everything is fine, then you suppress your ability to move on. It's your full humanity that pushes you to move on. It's standing in your full humanity that gives you the ability and the motivation and the drive and the energy. That's what fills you up with that energy to do what needs to be done. Now, don't misunderstand me. I know nobody's misunderstanding me. However, as you sit in fear and as you try to maintain this position of fake niceness and fake kindness, what you're going to say is, but when we get angry like that with each other, then our reactions can be dangerous. Then our reactions can be violent. Then our reactions can be harmful. That's what you're going to say to try to justify this lie of I'm not angry. That's what you're going to say. And what I say to that is, that doesn't have to be your reaction. That doesn't have to be your reaction. Your reaction can be to get up and move somewhere else. Your reaction can be to completely shut that person off and never speak to them again. Your reaction can be to study that person's behavior and then warn other people about people like that. I know this behavior. I'm familiar with this behavior. If you see someone with these behaviors, beware, because they generally do these types of things. That can be your reaction. Your reaction does not have to be violent. However, if somebody hit you, hit their ass back. That's a hoodoo proverb. That's an African American foundational way of life. If somebody hit you, hit their ass back. If somebody's swinging at you, get your goddamn lick in, right? I'm saying this as yeah. I'm saying this as Ia. I'm saying this as mother, big mama, right? Somebody hit you, hit their ass back. Some reactions need to be violent. Some reactions need to be violent. If somebody talks shit to you, talk shit back to their ass. Like, where y'all coming from? Who raised y'all? If somebody say some outlandish shit to you, say some outlandish shit back to their ass. And I'm saying this because when you don't defend yourself, you're sending a message that you are not worth being defended. Do you hear me? Amen, lights. When you don't defend yourself, you're sending a message that you are not worth being defended. Defend yourself. And then remove yourself from the situation. Remove yourself from the situation. Stay in that place that anger put you in, meaning that anger told you you should not be treated this way. And let us take some actions that keep us from being treated this way. Keep that lesson in your mind. That lesson is going to motivate you to go out and be successful. That lesson is going to motivate you to reach your goals. It's not the only thing that's going to help you reach your goals. It's not the only thing that's going to make you successful, but it's going to be a part of the motivation. The other thing, you are never going to overcome violence and danger and abuse by being more meek. The meek are not going to inherit the earth. I'm not a Christian. But all of the writers of that particular verse in the Bible who said the meek will inherit the earth then went on to oppress other people. They ain't out here trying to be meek. So the way to protect yourself from violence and abuse and danger is not by being meek. That's not the way to do it. You do not say, I've been abused, I've been harmed, I've been mistreated, and so what I'm going to do is make myself small. That's not how you do that. I've been abused, I've been harmed, I've been mistreated, so what I'm going to do is submit more. I'm going to be smaller. I'm going to be even more silent. I'm going to try my best to be even less than what I presented to that person who abused me. That is not going to serve you. And as a matter of fact, it's going to take you lower than you were when that person abused you. I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. I have lived 5 decades. So I'm telling you what I know by experience. I'm not talking this what I'm giving you right now, this ain't from no book. This ain't speculation. I'm telling you what I know. Trying to be smaller, trying to be quieter, trying to make yourself disappear, what that is going to do is invite more abuse. That's what that does. That is a beacon that tells predators that you are prey. So to sit up and be proud of, but I'm not angry. I'm not angry. So then you're prey. So then you are prey. That's how predators are looking at you. No one who is not a predator, people who are not predators, good people, kind people, are not looking at you saying, oh, she's good and kind. They are trying to figure out, why aren't you angry? That's what good and kind people are trying to figure out, because good and kind people expect human reactions and consequences for their actions. So what you think you're doing when you say, I'm not angry, is you think that you are letting everybody else know that you are good and kind. That's not what you're doing. You are putting a stamp on your forehead. I am prey. Prey. I'm prey. And the only people who are going to agree with you, the only people who are going to congratulate you, the only people who are going to say it's good that you are not angry about your abuse and about your mistreatment and about the way that you were treated are other predators. They are going to congratulate you for that. They are going to say that's good. They are going to lie and tell you that that means that you're healed. No longer being angry means that you're healed. Now, if you're not angry, then you are not even fully back in your body. There are some wrongs that will be done to you, and it will take you years to feel the full effect of your anger. And you will wake up one day years later, and you'll remember that wrong, and suddenly you will be completely angry. Because in order to protect yourself, you leave your body. You disassociate from your body. That's a normal human reaction. And it takes you a while to come back in there. It takes you a while to realize that it's safe to be in there. So to have the reaction of anger, you fully in there. Something's going to take you a minute to be fully angry because you wasn't fully in there. You left for a minute to navigate the situation. When you come back into your body, you're going to feel the full effects of that anger. As well you should. You have the right to be angry. You are a human being. You are fully human. Our ancestral mothers sat down a couple of decades ago and they wrote out a beautiful treatise for us that we should follow as Black women called the Combahee River Collective. Look it up. And they said that we do not want to be placed on pedestals, nor do we want to walk 20 paces behind. To be accepted as fully and levelly human is what we're fighting for. That is what is enough. So that's what I'm telling you. A fully and levelly human being gets angry when they are mistreated. And they use that anger to take actions that keep them from being mistreated again. And it is only by doing the work that allows you to come back into your body, that allows you to be fully angry, fully present, fully aware, have that emotion and feel that emotion, that you will be healed. You will know that you are healed when you can stand unapologetically in the place of defending yourself. When you can stand and your stance is such that whatever happened to you cannot happen again, because you are going to defend yourself in such a way that it cannot happen again. That's what it means to be fully healed. To be fully healed means that you can look around and see other people who are like you and take a stance that defends and protects them. That's what it means to be fully healed. Being fully healed does not mean I've made myself smaller. Being fully healed means I am striving and pushing to be big enough to fulfill my entire destiny. I'm big, I'm loud, I am seen, and I am heard, and I am goddamn it felt. That's what fully healed is. Meek and mild and submissive and apologetic and forgiving, that is not a representation of being fully healed. Please let go of those Abrahamic concepts of goodness. Please let go of those ways of looking at a person who is good. They have to be meek and mild and tiny and quiet and self-deprecating and altruistic, always giving of themselves and never giving to themselves. Let go of those Abrahamic concepts. The Bible that we know, the King James Version of the Bible that our grandmothers had and our mothers had and that we are aware of is a text that was written to enslave. That is the purpose of that text, the one that we know. I'm not talking about the original text. I'm talking about the one that we're aware of. And so the way that it's presented to us has always been in a way to keep our mindset in the mindset of someone who thinks that they should be enslaved, who thinks that they should be oppressed, who thinks that they deserve oppression, who thinks that they deserve mistreatment, who sees themselves as less than human. That text is written to keep our mind in that way of thinking. Please research King James so that you can have an understanding as to why this particular thing was translated. And then you can decide whether or not this is something good for you to fashion yourself after. That does not mean that you are healed. If you are too afraid to admit that you are angry, then you are still living in fear of being abused, which makes sense. But please do the work of moving out of that place. Do not come up and wave this as a badge of honor. It's not a badge of honor. You should be angry. Before this video ends, at least 3 Black women will have been killed by their intimate partners. That's how dangerous it is to be a Black woman in the world. Please go to blackfemicide.com if you don't believe what I'm saying. Right? You don't know a Black woman. You do not know a Black woman who has not been physically, emotionally, or sexually assaulted. You don't know one. You don't know one. So when you look at something that is explaining the abuse and the assault of Black women, and your first reaction is to say, I'm not angry. Why aren't you angry? Can you see? Can you comprehend? Or are you just lying? I think you lying. You angrier than most, because those who live in fear are the angriest people of all. That's why you don't want to roll with fearful people, because they do irrational things. They don't have rational reactions, because fear is just anger that's not expressed. So it is not a badge of honor to say, I am not angry. You should be enraged at how you are treated as a being in this place that you live in this place that our ancestors built. You should be enraged about that. Now, last thing I'm going to cover, and I'm going to let it go. Being enraged does not mean that you're not having a happy life. I'm having a happy life. Y'all see me, skin popping, skin glowing, curls defined, right? doing what I want to do, I'm having a happy life. Being enraged, it does not mean you're not having a happy life. That's a lie too. Being enraged does not mean that you will not find other people who will love you. That's a lie too. Plenty of people out here who love me. And there are plenty dudes out here who love, because that's what some people think. Being enraged does not mean that you will never find another man to love you. First of all, the nigga who was beating your ass, the nigga who was mistreating you, the person who was abusing you, they did not love you. I don't care what they said. I know that our childhoods, because our parents use corporal punishment and they beat our ass too. Our childhoods have part of us believing that somebody can abuse you and also love you. That's not true. Our parents beat our ass because they thought that was the only way to raise children. But if you notice, as your parents aged, they began to tell you that wasn't the way. My mother beat our ass, but as we started having children, she would say, don't beat their ass. She began to understand that that wasn't the way, right? So don't use the whoopings that you got in your childhood as justification to believe that somebody can mistreat me and abuse me and still love me. That's not true. You will find someone who loves you. You think that being enraged means you're not going to find anyone who loves you. What you're going to find when you sit in the righteous indignation and the true rage about how you're treated in this society is you will find someone who loves you as a full human being. And isn't that what you want? You don't want someone who can only love you because you have blinders on and are pretending not to see what's happening to you and your sisters. That's not the love that you want. You want the love of someone who can be like, I know that's right. Y'all are being mistreated. Let us go out here and see what we can do about it. That's the love that you want. So you worry that being enraged is going to keep you from love. It's going to keep you from another crusty foot type of love. It's going to keep you from another crusty motherfucker who is afraid of women who stand in their full selves. Yes, it will definitely keep you from that. But a real love from someone who loves you fully, there's no way it will keep you from that. You think that being enraged about what's going on and what's happening and how we are being treated it means that you're a person who walks around angry all the time and has an angry reaction to everything that's going on. People who have an angry reaction to everything that's going on have not taken out their anger on who they're actually angry at. And do you know why they haven't? Because they busy saying, I'm not angry. Oh, I'm not mad at black men. So you haven't taken your anger out on black men, but you'll turn around and live a life where you're taking your anger out on everybody else. So people who are doing that, they're not walking in a righteous indignation. That's not what I'm talking about. Walk in your righteous indignation. Shit is fucked up for us. We are being mistreated. We are being abused every day on the internet. Somebody's trying to tell us we're ugly. Someone's trying to tell us we're unattractive. Someone's trying to tell us we're unlovable, unmarriageable. All of these horrible things. You should be enraged. And you should speak out against it wherever you see it. And you should stand up for yourself and stand up for your sisters and stand up for beautiful black features on black women and beautiful black hair and beautiful black noses and beautiful black skin. You should speak out and stand up for it. You should. A human being in the position that you're in is going to be angry, and it's beautiful. And it's your birthright. And it's yours. And it makes your ancestral mothers proud because it is the legacy of if a motherfucker hit you, hit him back. It's the legacy that you were raised with. Your ancestral mothers brought you here to defend yourself. They didn't bring you here to have feet wiped on you. They did not sacrifice everything that they sacrificed. They saw you in their future eye. They knew that a baby girl like you would arise. And do you think that they made those sacrifices so that somebody could wipe their feet on you? They didn't. They expected your righteous indignation on their behalf as well. You are human enough to be angry, right? Be angry. It is your right. Defend yourself, protect yourself, defend and protect those that you are responsible for, your children and your aging parents. You are not responsible for other adults. And protect and defend those who look like you, your sisters, those who are walking this journey with you. Right, that's it. I had to get that message out. Thank everybody who's here. It's good to see you guys. And you all know how we end it. There is a mosquito in my house, y'all. It is biting the stew out of me while I'm right here making this video. But you all know what we do. Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss. To all of those within the sound of my voice who are wishing the same for me and mine, and in my righteous indignation and rage. As always, I wish the most powerful, the most awesome, the most treacherous, the most protective over me lessons of life upon those who are wishing us otherwise. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.